If you're a new trader trying to figure out which you should even trade, you are not alone. Because that question, which market should I trade, is one that quietly destroys more beginning traders than any strategy ever will. Most beginners pick the wrong market at first, and it's not because they're bad traders, but because they never learned how to choose the right one. And today, I'm going to make that part as simple as possible. So if trading feels overwhelming, confusing, or just plain noisy, then this video is exactly where you should be. Because before you learn entries, before you learn exits, before you try to figure out candlesticks or indicators or risk management, you need a home base. You need one market that fits you, your schedule, your energy, and your learning style. And not just that, but also the way your brain processes information. This one choice will make everything else so much easier. So today, I'm going to walk you through the actual process every beginner should go through to figure out which market they should start with. So that way, you're not just guessing or just copying somebody else. You're not also jumping into whatever is trending on TikTok or here on YouTube, but you'll have a real process. Let's talk about where I went wrong, because that's probably where you're at right now. So when I first started trading, I made the classic mistake. I opened up TradingView and immediately tried to trade everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. I'm talking about gold, NASDAQ, Tesla, crypto, forex pairs. I didn't even know what it meant at the time. Some I couldn't even pronounce. And if the chart moved, I thought, well, oh, I should learn that too. And as you can guess what happened, within about 5 minutes, my brain was all over the place and just overwhelmed. Because at this point, I had about 50 different things in my watch list and I didn't even know what to look at. I didn't know which market mattered. And I also didn't know what to expect from any of them because I was a beginner at that time. And every time something moved, it felt like I was missing out. I was always seeing people posting profits in random markets, but here's the truth. I wasn't overwhelmed because trading was complicated. I was overwhelmed because I skipped the step that gives you clarity. And once I learned that the market you choose is almost as important as the strategy you use, my entire journey changed. And that's exactly what I want for you. And if you're at a point where you're beginning to trade, then go ahead and check out the Trading Launchpad, where you will get my help in order to help you be able to start trading these markets successfully. Or if you're a beginner or maybe have some experience in trading under your belt, then go ahead and check out the Profitable Traders Academy in order to get my help multiple times a week. So if you're interested in either of these programs, go ahead and check out the description box below, because both of those links are going to be there. And definitely choose the one that is going to fit best where you are right now. So let's talk about this. What you really need right now is a market that fits where you are as a beginner. This isn't guesswork or intuition. This is going to be a step-by-step process. So let's start building your clarity right now. So step 1. Create your market shortlist. So before we narrow anything down, we need to start wide. And I want you to grab either a blank sheet of paper or open up your notes app. Seriously, do this with me, because it changes how your brain processes the next steps. So go ahead, take a moment and write down every single market you've heard of without judging the list. So for me, it was stuff like gold, NAS 100, US 30, S&P 500, and then there was also stocks like Tesla and Apple. Also the gold market. I saw some video where this guy made a boatload of money from the oil market. I also had cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum, forex pairs like USD, JPY, EUR, JPY, and so many other things. So if you heard the name once, go ahead and write it down on this list. And the reason we're doing this is because people walk around with this mental clutter and think, should I trade this or maybe that? Or I saw somebody make money with this market. And basically what we're doing is we're getting all these options out of your head and onto a page that gives you something concrete to work with. Beginners often feel overwhelmed because they're trying to hold too many options in their mind at once. And by writing this down or putting it in your notes app, this step is going to remove all of that mental fog that you've been carrying around. Now, once your list is written, I want you to add one sentence beside each market. And please do not overthink this. Literally one sentence. And that could be something like, I see lots of people trading gold, or NAS 100 looks fast. Or it could be something like, I understand that Tesla is a company and is really popular right now. Or it could be something like, I don't even know what US 30 means. And then when it comes to crypto, you could be thinking, crypto looks exciting, and there's no right or wrong answer. This step is just about getting your thoughts on paper because you can actually evaluate them. And this makes the next step much, much easier. Step 2, go ahead and cross out the markets you don't understand. So right now, we are going to start filtering. And here's the rule. If you cannot explain what that market is in one simple sentence, then go ahead and cross it off your list, at least for now. This doesn't mean that you'll never trade it. It just means that it's not the right starting place for you. So let me give you an example of what I mean. If you look at gold, you might say, okay, gold is a precious metal. People use it as a store of value. People usually run to it when there's trouble in the market. Okay, great. Keep that on your list. If you look at the NASDAQ 100, you might say something like, well, it's an index of the top 100 tech companies. Cool, perfect. Keep it because you understand what it is. If you see something like EUR, JPY, and you have no idea what these letters represent, go ahead and cross it off. Because the problem isn't the market, it's that your brain can't build confidence in an environment that it doesn't understand. And when a beginner tries to learn a market they don't understand, every move feels totally random. Every candlestick, even if you've seen that candlestick before, feels very confusing. And every pullback will feel like failure because you're like, should I enter here? Maybe I should wait a little bit. And every spike that you see just feels like chaos. You're like, I don't even know what's happening here. So when you know the basics of what you're trading, your brain will relax. You can pay attention to the market movements. You can actually learn faster. And this step alone instantly reduces all the overwhelm that you may be feeling. So go ahead and take your time here. This is the first big clarity filter that we're going to have in these steps. Okay, so step number 3, check if the market actually moves enough for you to trade. So now that you have a filtered list, let's figure out which markets are actually worth learning. Because here's a reality check. A market can be easy to understand, it can be familiar because everybody's talking about it, and it can also be popular because everybody's talking about it, no matter where you go. But if it doesn't move, you won't make progress, and you'll actually get bored, you'll be forcing trades, and then you'll get trapped up and chopped. Basically, the market's just going like this, and you will think that you are the problem when really the market isn't active enough. So here's how to check whether or not a market is worth your time as a beginner. So first, I want you to open up a 15-minute chart because it doesn't move too fast, it doesn't move too slow. It's actually one of the perfect time frames for beginners. Number 2, I want you to zoom into the last 3 to 5 trading days and you want to observe the movement. Not overanalyze it, just observe. And step number 3, I want you to ask these questions. Does the market move every day? You want to see some daily action. You want to see big candles, small candles, but mostly big candles. And you also want to make sure that you can actually follow the movement and it's not just going like this. And if the market barely moves, where it's just moving in a consolidation, cross it off. So you also want to look at, is the market moving up and down? And basically, can you read the trend? Do you see a really clean move where there's back-to-back bullish candles or back-to-back bearish candles? Do you recognize a pullback where basically it goes up, it comes back and it stops and then continues the trend? If the entire chart looks like sideways movement, then it's going to be a no. And you want to be able to look at that market and figure out what the trend is without guessing. It needs to be a clear up, clear down, or clear sideways consolidation. So you want to zoom out to the past 3 to 5 trading days. We want to observe the movement and not analyze. So next, you want to ask yourself these 5 questions. First, does the market move every day? You want to see some daily action, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It just shouldn't be flat. Because if the market barely moves, cross it off your list. Number 2, are there clear pushes up and down? Beginner-friendly markets will have a story that you can follow because you'll see things like a trend, a really clean move where basically you'll see back-to-back bullish candles or back-to-back bearish candles. You'll also see a pullback and then maybe a start of another trend. So if your chart looks like it's sideways, basically just going like this, it's a no. So question number 3 is going to be, can your eyes follow the movement without guessing? This is going to be the most important one because you don't need to predict what's going to happen. You just need to be able to see what happened. And if your eyes can't follow what the market is doing, even after the fact, learning it will feel like a lot of frustration and you won't make any progress. You'll feel frustrated and not make the progress that you're looking for. Question number 4, does the market move too fast? Now, some markets move way too fast. And when I say way too fast, it really just depends. That's going to be stuff like gold and US 30. Question number 5, does the market move too slow? If the candles barely move, then you'll get bored and start taking unnecessary trades. You want to avoid markets that feel like you're just watching paint dry. So now, I want to slow down for a second and highlight something that almost no beginner realizes until it's too late. Most people don't fail because they choose the wrong strategy. And they don't fail because they don't understand candlesticks. There's so many different things out there for us to learn that. And then they also don't fail because they're bad at trading. They fail because they were learning in an environment that didn't match their experience. It's really like learning how to drive a car. Somebody just hands you the keys to a Lamborghini and say, hey, go on the freeway. That's exactly what this is like. You're not failing because you can't drive. You're failing because you're not in the right environment. You maybe need to start in something much, much slower, maybe a cheaper car, so that way you can get the movements down. I know I did. And trading works exactly the same way. And when you choose the wrong market, a market that moves too fast or too slow, that doesn't make sense to your brain, you're basically self-sabotaging before you even give yourself a fair chance to learn how to trade. So the work that you're doing right now, this isn't something extra. This isn't just a video that I decided to put up. I put it up because it's real, because I experienced someone this past week inside of the Profitable Traders Academy trading something that they shouldn't have been trading. But now they have more of a sense of what they should be trading based on our conversation, and I was able to steer them in the right direction. So let's be honest for a moment. Most beginners feel embarrassed to admit that they don't even know where to start. Trading can make you feel like everybody else has figured it out. And I know that's exactly how I felt when I first got started. And it was like everybody else knows what market to trade, and I'm the only one that's still lost. And you are not the only one that's lost. There are a lot of people out there that are still lost. But the thing about it is you're watching this video and you're getting the help that you need. And every single trader starts exactly where you are right now. Confused, overwhelmed, unsure of which chart to even look at. And what separates traders from those who succeed and those who don't, it's not intelligence, it's not talent or intuition, it's basically alignment. The traders who succeed learn in environments that support their growth, not ones that crush their confidence, which is why when I started off trying to trade US 30 and even gold, I wasn't successful. I had to step back and move to something slower. And I want you to know that your confidence doesn't come from being right. Your confidence will come from being in the right environment. And it's basically finding a market that fits your pace, your schedule, and also your personality. And most important, your ability to process the movement that you're seeing on the charts. Everything in your trading will get better. It will get better. Trust me. And your decision making will also improve, and your patience will also improve. I have people telling me that all the time in a Profitable Traders Academy. And your emotional reactions will calm down, and your ability to read price action will get more clear, because now you're not fighting the market, you're learning alongside it. And this step is not about limiting you. This step is about protecting your growth. All right, so we gave you some actionable steps to figure out the market that you should be trading. So let's break this down into even more actionable steps that you can do today. And these steps matter. These are the exact steps that turn confused beginner energy into I actually know what I'm doing energy. And that's what I want for all of you. So number 1 is going to be to make your full list of markets. I want you to write everything down, even if it feels random or silly. The purpose is to get the noise out of your head and onto a paper or onto your notes app. Because once it's on paper, your mind instantly feels lighter. You have all of the stuff listed and you're no longer trying to keep it all inside of your head. You'll start to see patterns that you didn't even notice before. So number 2, I want you to cross out every market. And if you can't explain it in one sentence, you will not be able to understand how it moves. And if you don't understand how it moves, then every candle will feel like an emotional roller coaster, because you'll be like, that was totally me in the beginning. So be honest with yourself. You're not crossing it out forever. You're just crossing it out for now. So number 3, I want you to open your charts and observe movement. Not trading, not trying to figure out any strategy. This is a mindset shift. You're not predicting, you're analyzing. You're not trading, you're just watching. You're learning the body language of each market because each market does have a personality. Because each market also has a rhythm. Some markets just go really smoothly, it's really clean to understand, and then some markets just move around a lot. You don't know what it's going to do next. And some markets just move way too slowly. That's AU, too slow for me. Your job is to notice what feels readable to your eyes and your eyes only. So number 4, I want you to eliminate markets that do not support your learning. I want you to remove the ones that move too erratically where you can't understand the price action. Ones that barely move at all and you're basically waiting days or weeks for it to do something. And also make your stomach tighten just from looking at the market. I can name several markets that I have felt that for sure. And then I want you to get rid of markets that confuse you no matter how long you stare at the screen. It should be easy, clean price action that you should be able to understand. These markets aren't necessarily bad. They're just not aligned with the version of you who's trying to learn right now. So number 5, I want you to keep the markets that give you a sense of, I can learn this, because that's the energy that you want. And when you look at a market and think, okay, this actually makes sense, that is the market worth exploring and giving a chance. Learning should feel challenging. Yes, it's going to be challenging in the beginning, but not chaotic. You should feel a little stretched, not stressed, and this one feeling will speed up your progress more than you realize. And I want to explain why this step is so important, because every trader you admire and every trader that you watch online did not get good because they knew every single market. They got good because they mastered one market. They learned the rhythm of the market. They understood its behavior, its personality, the volume inside of that market. And they also understood certain news events, how the market would move during those times. They also analyzed the movements of different patterns that they may have noticed inside of the market. And that all came from studying one environment, one market. And once you understand one market deeply, you can expand into other ones so easily. But when you try to learn too many markets at once, your brain doesn't know what to focus on. You'll burn yourself out and you'll quit because it feels like trading is just not for me. But trading is for you. That's why I'm making this video. You just need the right starting place. You're not choosing one market forever. You're just choosing the first market, the one that'll teach you the skills you need for every single market that comes after. This one step will save you so many months and years of frustration. Trust me. So if this video helped bring clarity to your trading journey, your next step is choosing that one market that you'll study for the next 90 days. And this video that I just filmed for you will help you make that decision step by step. And trust me, if you watch this video again, then it will help you stay grounded and focused more than you have ever been in your entire trading journey. And if you want deeper support, real structure, real feedback as you start trading, then you can definitely check out the resources below, specifically the Profitable Traders Academy. So right now, you're going to see some other videos on the screen that'll help you become a more consistent, profitable trader and get clarity in the markets. I'll see you there.